What's the value of wearing the cassock, like objectively?
The way that I see it, it separates you from like worldly attire, but also does the collar does as well.
We're people that understand things based on our senses. So when people are all together and there's a priest who's wearing a cassock, it clearly separates him, sets him apart in the right way as a man of the clergy.
Personally, I feel like I'm held to a higher standard when I'm wearing the cassock because people are looking and they're more focused.
So why do you think it's come out of use for the most part? I mean, I think now it's starting to catch fire again, but for a long time in the church, at least in the West, after like the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and then on until just now it's starting to pick up again. Priests weren't wearing cassocks at all. I don't remember where I went, but I was in an airplane one time years ago. I was wearing my habit, obviously. And the guy that was sitting next to me was in like shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. And he's like to me, "Oh, what congregation do you serve?" And I said, "I'm Chaldean Catholic and I'm a monk and whatever." And he said, "Oh yeah, I serve over at whatever." I said, "Serve what?" you know? And he said, "I'm a priest." I said, "Catholic priest?" And he said, "Yes." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I had no idea. But he was an older guy, came from that generation, whatever. They were used to that. Like, why do you think it got to that point where priests stopped wearing the cassock for sure, and in many cases even stopped wearing the collar publicly?
For sure, cultural in that aspect. I mean, personally, for me, it's mainly about comfort.
I tend to think like if a priest is traveling somewhere on vacation or something, maybe let's say with other brother priests or whatever, with his family, maybe he doesn't need to necessarily wear a cassock or something like that clearly delineates him from everybody else like that much. If he's wearing something respectable, even if it's lay people clothing, I don't think there's too much of an issue with that. Kind of like as Father Tristan is saying, like just putting on a cassock doesn't mean you're
I have a
an
story,
example of the
actually.
holiness of the priesthood or something. But at the same time, I think in general, a Hawaiian shirt and shorts is just bad taste in general. Like no one should be wearing that.
I think a big reason why the watering down of the priestly garb, at least in the United States and Europe, is because the whole culture around it, the whole West, rejected religion for sure in the late 60s. You know, the sexual revolution, many revolutions.
No, it was actually all because of Vatican II. Sorry.
The secular world rejected religion, not just religion in like a doctrinal way, but the various aspects about religion, the various expressions of religion. And it just watered everything down because what we ultimately rejected was this supernatural life. And the clothing does represent the supernatural, kind of like what you were saying. It represents something beyond. It represents the eschatological life that we that wear these clothes live for something beyond just this world. And that's why we wear them, because it's an outward expression of the life that we're living interiorly and the service that we're offering to the church and the world.